So then the question then is, if you're China and you're Japan, why do you have all this debt knowing that America can never pay you back? Or America will at some point default on this debt. Why? Why does Japan and China and other countries have all this debt, U.S. treasuries, knowing that America can never really pay back all this debt? Why? Okay, so there are many reasons, okay? The first reason is that, in theory, Japan and China can always take this debt and buy oil with it, okay? So this is, again, the petrodollar. Second reason is that even though America is in debt, it's still an empire. It's still the greatest military power in the world. So at some point, you feel that the money is safe there, okay? Does that make sense? Because no one can actually challenge America militarily. And the third reason, and this is the most important reason, is there's no place for you to go. You understand? What else? Where else can you put your money? Nowhere. Okay? So that's the issue right now. And so in theory, because China and Japan can buy oil with it, and because there's really no place for China and Japan to put this money, in theory, this system can go on forever, okay? So it's possible that maybe in 10 years' time, the debt will be 340 trillion, okay? Who knows, okay? So in theory, this could go on forever, right? Because America's an empire. But then, what happened 2-3 years ago is Russia invaded Ukraine, okay? Russia invaded Ukraine. And why this is important is that this is basically Russia challenging the dominance of the American empire. Okay? What Putin is really saying to the United States is, I think your empire is full of lies. Your empire is based on nothing. Your empire is based on the perception that you are invincible in war. Well, I'm going to invade Ukraine and prove everyone wrong, okay? I'm going to show that you, America, are in fact a paper tiger. Okay? And so, if Putin succeeds in his war in Ukraine, then the fundamental understanding of how the world works, that America is an empire, that America is invincible, that the US dollar is safe, will radically change. Okay? It will be destroyed, it will be undermined, it will be subverted. Okay? Does that make sense? So that's why America needs to stop Russia in Ukraine. Okay? Can it stop Russia? Can it stop Russia in Ukraine? How's the war going for America in Ukraine? Pretty badly, okay? I mean, the war's almost over. Okay, so but what America can do, okay, which will solve all these problems, is for America to transition from a financial economy back to a manufacturing economy. Okay? If America just does this, America has nothing to worry about. It doesn't have to worry about the debt. It doesn't have to worry about Russia. It doesn't really have to worry about the world, okay? Because America is a self-sufficient economy, meaning that it has the resources to sustain itself. It doesn't really need to trade with the rest of the world, okay? If America can return to being a manufacturing economy, then it will be invincible, okay? Now the question then is, can America reindustrialize? Yes or no? Why not, Jack? Because the politics doesn't allow them to, exactly. But can you explain that?
Like the financial sector has too much political power, so all they're trying to do is to perpetuate financialization.
Yeah.
They won't allow America to.
That's exactly right, Jack, okay? So yes, the problem right now is the very structure of American society and politics and the economy. Right now, the financial sector has all the power. And they don't want to go back to the time when manufacturing had all the power, right? So that's the first problem. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, that they agree to this, okay? What's your other problem if you want to reindustrialize? Excuse me? Okay, but all the foreign investment can just go into factories, right? But there's actually a really big problem with reindustrialization, okay? So as Jack says, there will be political resistance to this, okay? But then you have a bigger problem than this, which is what? Okay, guys, the problem with this economy is it creates a speculative mindset, okay? So therefore, no one wants to work hard. No one wants to go to work in factories anymore. Do you understand? If you're a young person, you would much rather spend your time investing in Bitcoin than working in a factory. Do you understand? Because investing in Bitcoin gives you the opportunity to become rich. But if you work in a factory, you have to work hard for 40 years just to buy a house. Okay, does that make sense? So you're not going to find people to work these factories. That's a bigger problem. Okay? And the third problem, of course, is just investment. How do you build these factories? You not only have to build these factories, but you also have to build logistics networks to move goods from one place to the next, okay? Okay? So, in other words, America could reindustrialize, but it's a pain in the ass, right? You're going to face a lot of political opposition, especially from the financial sector. It's very hard for you to get people to work in factories. And plus, where's all this money going to come from, okay?